power, peace, and love. The power of energy that's in us as energy of the divine peace that once we tap into it, that source, that is what we become. In harmony and peace, and about development, growth and development, personal growth and development, in order for us to collectively to come together to build and just stop all the negative energy that we deal with as a people. As you know, if you're familiar, I am Humam Abdulmalik with Blackanized International Nubian Consciousness. Conscious chess moves. Doing a study of myself in motion and progress so that I can become what I say and walk the talk and talk the walk in order to develop within my environment, within this realm, this dimension, so that I can be helpful. I can be part of the solution, solving the problem in our community, keeping our community clean, this dropping seeds of motivation to our youth, being respectful to our elders, communicating with the elders to see their perspective of what's going on. It seems like everybody's in, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. People not fearful anymore, showing it. We got to be in our activity, everyday activity, and and the lack of concern for what might occur or happen, it's not shown. It's like we, that perspective of being watchable or observant is secondary in our approach to life. Our youth are still doing what they're doing, acting like predators toward one another for no good known reason. We not assume, but we know that one of them is maybe the control of a substance or selling substance, or just this negative attitude, negative energy, a lack of understanding, a lack of education, a lack of concern, a lack of knowledge, a lack of education, lack of discernment. There's all these lacks of things that put us in harm's way of each other. Instead of developing love and appreciation, not only for oneself, but for one immediate environment, and dealing with yourself to be a better person, human being, and connect with other people, networking to stop the violence in our community. That's why this morning I just wanted to play that piece there that if you heard it, I don't know, it's living like you bulletproof. Excuse me 1 second. I want to play something else now. Oh. And this is Raheem Devon, right? And I met that brother. We used to be in open mic together. What's happening? Okay. We used to be at open mic together on U Street. This was back in the 90s. At what was that place? Not a mocha hut or anything like that. Anyway, it was on Tuesday night at Bar None. We was at Bar None together when he used to sing, just like he's doing now, but he got a contract and like a rocket ship, just took off, and it's just great to see that happen before your eyes and stuff. Someone be in line with you at open mic and then just take off, and then still be positive, dropping seeds of information that's for the betterment of our people, even though he's in the entertainment world. It's like, that's what we need. We need that type of growth and development. Then he put out other videos with messages to them, and his other product is the what is it? His love child, not the love child, the urban cowboy or something like that. His promotion of himself, but a strong brother, insightful, and many other brothers and sisters. We have many prolific people in our community, artists, entrepreneurs, activists, that's about growth and development. And we as a people have to come together on all levels to continue that effort so that we can better our environment, beginning with ourselves, and self-awareness, self-development, growth and development, self-discipline, self-control, and being real with ourselves, on all levels, emotionally, spiritually, physically, academically, intellectually, and we all have idiosyncrasies and we all have baggage. But when you know yourself, you should clear yourself, or we should clear ourselves of all that baggage that we know of ourselves that we have, and be as productive as we can be and constructive as we can be and positive. We should let go of all negative qualities and energies that we have and live with, because a lot of us be like, when I'm talking to us, I'm talking to me, because like I said, I hear it first and it's in my psychic first, and it's coming out, and it's coming between these ears, and I hear it before the same time simultaneously as you, and it's like I'm talking to myself when I talk in general to you. I'm not directing anything at anybody specifically. I'm talking about us as a whole, because nobody's perfect. Even though we reach for perfection, no one's perfect. We all have our shortcomings. And I'm saying that to say, when I make statements like people like being spontaneous liars and stuff like that, it's all of us in the collective. But some of us had that motive apparatus, or that habit more than others, and we have to break those negative habits in our walk in life, but that's how it is. But through discipline and self-control and personal growth and development, we become better. We should have an objective in life, personal and collective. We should look in our communities and see what we can change as individuals without, waiting on other people. Some things you have to do as a collective, because it's better when you do it like that. But what you can do as an individual to better your community, then you need to do it. The community of self first, foremost, then the outward community, your neighborhood. Because It's that time. It's really that time to develop your mind and your spirit and come together in a unified effort to maintain and sustain ourselves as a people. Melanated people, black people, we gotta learn about who we are so we can establish who we are. We gotta know where we come from. I wonder, can y'all hear this? Talking about the times. This is what we're dealing with, if you can hear it. We gotta realize this. I hope you can hear it. This is a message. That's what we're dealing with. In this day and time, with this political system. But they ain't got to send our children off. Our children are doing now in our communities, killing ourselves, affecting us. Can you understand that? Eternal war. See, this war that's going on now has been against us for years. And this last cut, if you can hear it, it got a message in it also. Yeah, man. And sister. Gods and goddesses, brothers and sisters. We're in a quagmire, a deceptive maze that we got to journey through in this illusion that's been created for us. Called life is a beautiful thing. It's a blessing, even though we got to go through what we got to go through in it, and it's somewhat like being created for us in this realm, and we got to look more with other than the physical eye. We got to look with a spiritual eye. We got to develop ourselves spiritually and holistically in this realm and in this dimension, in this everyday life of struggle and strife, trials and tribulations, and now trying times, and our inability to develop, to overcome the trying times, and develop ability to be a people that's united and organized on all levels. We know we have certain people that's comfortable with what things and way the things are because of their attainment of the materialism that bring comfort, and this I got syndrome, and it's like no concern for nobody else. Should it be like that? You gotta ask your question, about your ego, about your arrogance and self-centeredness. Are you part of the collective or you not? Do you cut yourself off and you become like the Allen? Or do you become like, I know we all heard it, I got mine, you got to get yours. Instead of pulling our resources or just being that entity that's of an energetic divine source that do things that uplift those around you. For example, I still got to go back to the brother, what is it, Marshawn Lynch, the running back, that they denied themselves the Super Bowl because they didn't want to deal with this bold brother. But this brother ain't stopped. This brother went to Haiti, helped build homes in Haiti with his finance. What they supposed to send, what, it was $500 million or whatever they sent over there to build up Haiti. Didn't do anything with that money. Red Cross got money, everybody got money, the Clinton got money and everything, and they didn't do anything on the level or the scale that they should have. And this brother went over there and did stuff. He's doing Skittle commercials now in Scotland. Just talking about the Super Bowl. He's getting paid for that. And he's doing it on his own through, contracts and all that. But he ain't sell his soul. We need more people like that collectively, because we know what affects us. We know it's the music. We know it's like what we see and what we hear affecting our five senses and our mindset. So if we control those avenues, then we can know the input that comes in our mind, because it's like a computer, and the data, we can control it instead of the outside forces that don't have our best interest. I'll say our natural enemy. Their information is to mislead us. Excuse me one second. I hope that you heard those cuts that I was playing, and I know it was in the background like it, and I was talking, but subconsciously you may have heard it also. You did hear it, I hope. And the message that Brother Raheem and the rest of the artists were saying, because it is a war going on. And then we do live our life like we bulletproof, and our young adults misdirected, or they think they got a way to make fast, sure money, but it's an unsafe way, and it's a harmful way not only to yourself, but the effect it have on innocent people that might be standing in the area that your anger is unleashed or whatever, or your get back is unleashed with no direction. You mad at one person, but 2 or 3 other people get hurt. That's being out there in the space and time that you make this undivine decision to hurt other people with no regard for life. Your attitude is all wrong, young warrior, young soldier. You have to change your attitude and adapt to the unity and the peace and the constructive nature, building up, not tearing down, being a peacemaker, not a peace breaker. We need to do this. We need you. We need our young adults to realize who they are. We need you. You're a soldier for real. You're a warrior for real. But be a warrior for your people, for your family, for your extended family. Be the connection of building up and not tearing down. And I don't know what to say. I'm trying to find the words to reach to make you realize who you are, man, who you are to us. I ain't gonna say I don't know what to say. I'm saying what I want to say. I'm trying to reach you. It's like looking in the mirror at myself when I look at you. It's not like I haven't been through what you're going through, but I came to a time where I had to say who I'm hurting. If I'm not hurting them directly, I'm hurting them indirectly. I'm not just hurting one person. It's a ripple effect. Where you're hurting more, you're hurting a family. When the activity or the level of the violence get to where it is that somebody gets shot or somebody get killed, whoever dies can't come back in this realm or this dimension. They're gone forever as we know it. They're gone from this realm, even though the energy never dies, because the energy go back to the divine source. But it leaves this world of opportunity, this world of potential, this world of developing a family, a community, a world of enjoyment, a world of attainment of these things to make you happy. See, but the thing is, we want to get it too fast. We want an immediate gratification, and this being patient. We want to, get into the activities with no direction. It's like being an animal. It's like being like the animals you see in the street. That's doing whatever, whenever, and however. Just eat, sleep, and have sex. But life is more than that. We are more than animals. We are the representative of I'll say God, so we can get an understanding or understanding. We have the nature of God within this temple, which is our body. This energy of the universe and everything is in us, in our consciousness, in our subconsciousness. It's beyond the touch, the taste, the smell, the sight, and the hearing. It's beyond the five senses. We have a divine nature that we got to tap in. We got to become greater than what we are, because you not only represent yourself, and it ain't all about the car and the clothes and the house and all the money that you think you can get. It ain't even about that. It ain't about all the synthetic drugs that we take and all the liquor that we intake. There's nothing better than a natural high. Nothing better than a natural high. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to try to hustle and get money to get the benefit of this natural euphoria, this feeling of happiness and goodness. That's why I promote we stop selling drugs, we stop taking drugs. I promote that. I will it. I pray for it. I pray to myself, to the Creator through myself, to be part of this energy of the universe, to allow this prayer or this will of mine to be reinforced through the energy, the vibrations and the frequencies of the universe to reach us, just like they reaching us through the music or the frequencies of the music, or through the chemtrails that coming out the sky, or the water, the fluoride in the water. I'm trying to reach us through the vibrations of my voice or whatever, or the information that it'll stimulate. It will spark something in your consciousness or your subconscious, or it'll be like a seed that it has to be motivated or cultivated by you. If not right now, something that will stimulate you to think about changing your habits. When you wake up this morning and wash your face and your thought of, man, I'm going out there to do this and that, when you look in that mirror, you realize just for 1 second, what am I doing? And why am I doing it? You got to ask yourself why. It got to be more than, that extra dollar or that easy dollar or the hurt that you bring, or the pain that you bring, or the hurt or pain that you're going through. Because there's a saying, hurt people hurt people. That's a quote that's out there. But nobody wants to be hurt. Nobody wants to go through emotional turmoil or financial turmoil or anything. We just got to learn how to be content. We got to learn how to break those habits that are destructive, being self-destructive, being part of the self-genocide that's going on. We need to get out of that car, break those habits. So when you get up this morning, put that water on your face as you get in the shower, take a bath, or just wash your face or brush your teeth and all that, you looking in that mirror, man, or sister, ask yourself, what am I going to be a part of? If I'm going to be part of growth and development, of building up from a foundation, building up, and those, along with those people that's in my community that's trying to build up, trying to be better, or if I'm going to have that destructive, animalistic, predatorial nature, that mean and nasty nature that, you don't have regards for nothing, because you're taking on the characterization of people that's manipulating you and developing you into that monster that you have become, that animal that you have become. Because if you really look in the mirror and ask yourself, why do I do the things that I do? Why? Why would I put a gun in my hand and kill my brother, man, or my sister, man? Ask yourself that. The pain that you bring. Ask yourself. Ask yourself, or that self within yourself, if it was me. If my sister or my brother was killed, the act that I'm getting ready to do, or I'm thinking about doing, or have done, the effect it has on somebody else. Would you want that pain? Being the creator of that pain? Would you want to feel that? Look in the mirror and ask yourself. Ask yourself why. Why am I'm the one that's doing that? Why am I doing it? Why do I have the mindset to do it? Where did the thought come from? How did I develop this habit? You got to find the root source of your behavior. You should want to change, my brother and my sister, because I know how you living may be living in fear. If you ain't living in fear, you have a real destructive, animalistic, predatorial nature that's not really your nature. It's been developed and molded and shaped out by outside forces. They want you to make these negative choices because the more bad choices that you make is the more growth for them. Is more like fulfilling for them, for this enemy that you don't even see, that influence you through the TV, through the what you listen to on the radio, the type of music you listen to. All that is like adding to your self-destructive mode. Just listen to what you be listening to. Look in the mirror and question yourself. You have to go through this self-reflection of who I am and what I'm doing. You might get benefits from it, but it ain't real benefits. I mean, you get the materialistic gain or whatever, but at what cost? What cost do you acquire all these materialistic comforts? And they are only benefit to who? To you and your immediate family. That, I'm just like picturing in my mind, the activity, of that life. Getting high all the time, drinking all the time, and this pleasure principles, immediate pleasures, immediate gratification, living like an animal, really. I'm truly. Just look at it. When you're looking in the mirror, ask yourself that question, and just reflect on how you go through your day. Just ask yourself that. Being a part of the problem always, or being part of the solution to the problem in our community. And you just gotta just reflect of the hurt and pain that comes through those actions and those activities. If you don't question yourself about what you do and how you do it, then you're being controlled like a robot. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing and the benefits of what you're doing it for, and who does it benefit more than anything. Because everything is the system, the laws that we deal with want you to have that activity so that they can have free labor according to the 13th Amendment, where you become a slave. That's why we got to know our story and the story of this society, this country, and see what it thinks of you as a whole, as your people, as your race of people. You're a very important factor in our communities. Because without you, there won't be no future. We need a future with guidance, a concrete future, a system, a community with everything in it, all the aspects of, environment of production. See, you have all the abilities to be an entrepreneur, which you are a businessman, but it's of the negative connotations. What you do on that side, you can do what you do in the dark, you can do in the light. Because all light comes from darkness, but it's about growth and development. I ain't promoting to do it on that side and hustle and kill or whatever to get it and then do positive. I'm saying to be positive from Jump Street. If you got an ability to hustle like that, you got the ability to be an entrepreneur. We got to take certain elements out of the hustle. Because, it's like we hustle the clock. We sharecrop the clock or whatever. But, a lot of people do that, and they do it because they want to be positive. They're content with their life, and it's a way that we come together and network, and we become entrepreneurs through doing what's right. We create our own businesses, and we create our own system of development where we can build for ourselves in our community, make our community better for ourselves. And we got to understand that. Got to know that. Because if we don't, we're going to be caught up in this vacuum and be sucked up in the vortex of what's getting ready to go on in this society. We got to be observant. We got to be, mindful of what's happening around us politically. And it seems like nothing happening, but with each stroke of the pen, with each executive order that is being made, it's affecting this whole global climate. We got to realize that. But it just doesn't seem like that because it's like everyday things as usual. Everybody getting up and everybody hassling and rustling and getting the work on time and all that. Then preparing for how we're going to enjoy ourselves or enjoy the weekend. But believe me, There's been a 40-year plan that's been implemented, 20-year plan that's been implemented. You'll see the difference. You got to walk with your eyes open and not wide shut. We all do. And like I said, when I'm talking, I'm just not talking to you. See, I got to go look in that mirror too. I got to look at that mirror and say, what did I do yesterday was positive and constructive? Was it to prevail, to motivate somebody, to have somebody look at themselves? We got to look at ourselves and our actions every day, man and sister. We got to, we got to love each other. We got to come up from a perspective of love and a spiritual love, a mental love. We got to enhance our love of ourselves so that we can enhance the love for someone else other than ourselves. Be if it be family, friends, or whatever, but it's all about developing a extended family. We got to get back to the roots and the source of who we are as a people. And we got to be serious about our growth and development as a people. We got to do this thing through love and understanding. We got to be sincere with ourselves. We got to be real with ourselves as a melanated people, as black people. And we can't let nobody validate us. We cannot be, no longer be manipulated by charlatans or those that they place before us as our so-called leaders. We have to be leaders of ourselves and come together in that leadership, connecting with, other leaders. That's about our growth and development as a people. And we have to do this today, right now, at this moment, in this political situation that we're faced with today. And we gotta do it sincerely and earnestly as a people. And I want to apologize to my people for some of the statements I have made, even though they are statements that we have to realize that we had those type of people. But my people are not the enemy, even though they have dispositions, just emulating the European and this being so comfortable in this system. I understand that they've been manipulated and is what it is in life, because that's what they've been taught, to attain this and you are right. But you and the I, it's not the we. Ray Charles say, ain't none of us free until all of us free. Malcolm said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. We got to understand the history of this country. We have to understand the social narcotics that's injected into our minds. And our minds leads our hearts and everything. The social narcotics of white supremacy and institutionalized racism is a sickness that we all suffer from. And we have to know that the Willie Lynch syndrome also keep us divided. We have to realize that the religious institutions also keep us divided. We got to come together on all levels. We got to develop financial institutions, economic institutions, educational institutions, spiritual institutions that bring us together as a people. We have to get back to African spirituality or black spirituality or melanated. We got to get back to us as a people. We have to break out negative habits and develop positive habits that we can build us up, build our communities up. We have to reach our young brothers that's on the street corners and so-called thugs or so-called gangsters and tell them that they have to overcome that predatorial nature, that animalistic nature, and to develop divine nature of who we are in this temple, in the energy of the Creator. We have to do that. We got to do that. That's the only way we're going to survive as a people. This corporation that we live in, everything is about business. This whole thing is corporations, and that's why you say you got to mind your business. The mine is where the minerals at. The mine is where the jewels at, or whatever. But you got to develop that business. We got to be entrepreneurs. We got to be do it in a legit way, so that the slave catchers can't take our children away. And we got to stop our predatory nature and our animalistic nature, so we don't kill each other. Because the war that we have ain't a real war. We got a war that's going on, a natural war that's been going on for years. It needs all of us. It needs all of us to be part of this war. It's a time of peace. You be developed for war, and the war is being developed against us, which each executive order that is signed is going to have an effect upon us as a people. We might not see it just like that, but it's happening. It's happening because we got all these patriotic people, all these racist people that's they with glee and humor. They rising up. They coming out the cornfields, the mountains, the shacks, and all that. And they putting on the judges' robes and the police uniforms and all that. They're in a position to harm us, but this through law, through this fraudulent law. So we got to be aware of that. We got to develop on all levels. We got to counter every move that they make in a simplistic and natural way. We got to stop harming each other. So those young warriors, I don't know how many might be viewing this, or somebody might be viewing it, and one of them young warriors, one of them young soldiers that's in a negative energy, that's have a predatory nature or animalistic nature, and they haven't risen up into their God-like nature or the divine nature, and be part of this melanated movement, this black movement, this race movement. We got to heal ourselves. We got to, from the foundation up, we got to build ourselves on every aspect of being, of living in this society, financially, educationally, and spiritually, and through networking and through coming together. That's through reflection. So my young brothers, my young warriors, overcome that predatory nature. Yes, that's Galen Coles. Yeah, the clans have definitely infiltrated the police department. And it ain't just happened now, it's been the build-up of that. The Klan is in the courtrooms. The Klan is the ones that's over there in the Capitol. The Klan's been in there for years. And the thing about it, just like Trump and his cabinet, people know the personality and the character of the people that he's bringing together. They not only billionaires and all that, but their mentality is white nationalism. And the people know this. They been know it. It ain't just happened today because Trump become the president. These people been that way since they been lynching us. Don't forget 50, 60 years ago, them people was in some of them pictures they was taking. That's the children of the lineage of those people. So the mentality, the mindset of our natural enemies of the Neanderthals, which they are, a bloodline or whatever, takes them back to, their nature, the beast in their nature, and we got to understand that. And we can't be emotional. We got to be rational, but we can't harm ourselves. We know who we're dealing with. We have to know. We have to understand that we're not our own enemy. We have an enemy, a natural enemy. Not only is the enemy of us as a race, but an enemy of nature, an enemy of other races. It's just their nature to be like that. They're warmongers. And we got to come out of that social narcotics. We got to stop taking all narcotics, but the social narcotics do us more harm than anything else because it deals with our mind and our spirit and our choices we make. So I want to humbly apologize to my brothers and my sisters that I may have said something negative to, but we got to stop being the gatekeepers, the boule and the talented tenth, the affluent of our people. We got to, come out of the mindset of emulating our enemy. We got to build up. We got to pool our resources. I mean, the Oprah Winfreys, the Tyler Perrys, and the Mayweathers, and the Michael Jordans, and the Bill Cosbys, and all these people, all these athletes. We got to pool our resources. If we pool our resources, then we can spend $1.3 trillion during the holiday season. Just think if we don't do that and take that $1.3 trillion and start building things that we know we need, movie studios, radio stations, that we can own them, and we ain't got to deal with our enemy, their resources. If our athletes, suppose all our athletes just walk off the court, stop playing the game and be serious. I hear what you're saying, Galen. What is that? I got to get ready to get off here too because I only got 5% energy. But I just want to say that we got to stop attacking each other. We know our problem, our social ills. We need to go in there and get our young warriors and talk to them and just talk to them and show them some love, because sometimes all they need is somebody to reach out to them. But we must make them look in the mirror at the reflection and look at themselves and ask themselves, why do you do what you do? I leave us with this example. When I met this young dude the other day, I asked him, why you wear your pants off your butt? He told me he don't know. I said, why you do something that you don't know? He said, because I don't know. And I say, man, you can't do anything that you don't know why you're doing, because if you're doing that, then somebody else is controlling you. I say, you can't follow fads and trends. You can't do something because everybody else doing it, because you're a leader. We got to reach our youth and let them know that they are leaders. They got to overcome that predatory, animalistic nature that's been instilled in them by the social narcotics. Social narcotics of a context of being educated and indoctrinated, along with taking the synthetic drugs, the liquor and the alcohol and the other synthetic drugs. I ain't talking about that herbal thing, because the herbal is a healing thing if you use it correctly. But the other drugs are K2, flack, and some pill, Molly, and all that crazy stuff that enhance your euphoria to feel good. But ain't nothing like feeling good naturally. If you do it naturally, then man, you only got natural benefits from it, divine essence from it. And with that, I want to say this here. I want to say that I love my people, because my people is me. It wouldn't be no me without my people. See, I want to be mentally free, and I want to be that freedom that I feel. I want to be an energy that's connected to my people, to my brothers and sisters, because it is my extended family, and I'm the way I am because you the way you are. And we gotta build upon our natural, divine essence, and come out this what we've been taught through this social narcotics and the Willie Lynch syndrome. And let's develop our infrastructure while they try to implement their plan with their executive order. Through this disorder, they trying to create a new world order. But they can't create anything new through what they do, because we the original people that been here. We went through all the things that they threw at us. Now they're trying to throw another thing at us. But we got to just look in the mirror and reflect and say who we are in the divine light and the shining stars that we are, and connect. And I just want to say I love us. I love me because I love you. And it ain't no me without you. It ain't no I. It's a we. And that's how I live. And I'm just an individual trying to connect to the whole collective so we can be unified. See, I ain't nothing by myself. But with you, with us, I am strength, I am power. We are strength and we are power, and especially when we deal with the divine nature that we have and what we are in this realm, in this dimension, beyond the five senses. We got to develop beyond just this five senses that they manipulate. See, when you enhance and go through the sixth sense and deal with it and deal with the energy of the divine nature, then you'll see everything that they got and how it's coming, and you be prepared. But we got to prepare holistically, because nobody is an island. Especially one can do nothing without the all. We all united in the energy, frequency, and vibrations of the carbon, the mark of the beast, so they say. But it's carbon, it's protons, electrons, and neutrons to give us that energy of the creator. And through the melanin and through the pituitary and the pineal gland, activating and having that third eye open. So you go beyond the five senses, naturally, divinely. And I say with that, peace, power, and love. I love you in the breath of life. It's like meditation. The breath of life is powerful. We got to use that breath of life, right, to make the connection. And we got to be the mark of the beast, in the beast mode. Marshall Lynch, right? You see how he did it? They didn't like that brother, but he didn't care about that. He didn't speak their language. He didn't act like them. He dealt with himself, his divine nature. Look what he's doing. He went to Haiti and building up. Now he over in Scotland doing commercials. But he still doing what? Through the breath of fresh air, through the breath of the creator that instilled in him, he's doing what he wants to do as a warrior. And that's how we got to connect. And we got to reach our young warriors on them street corners and let them know that ain't the way to go. Look in that mirror, my young brother, and ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Is it beneficial for us all? Break that negative habit that you acquired through social engineering, through the social narcotics, and through the Willie Lynch syndrome. Let's bring it home, brothers and sisters. This is our time and this is our day, from the elders to the youth and all in between. We got to unify. We got to unify or we're going to die. We're going to die anyway. Let's die for a cause. Let's not stand for anything, because we might fall for anything. And just don't stand there. Do something. Do something. That's our motivating cry. That's our force. That's our motto as a people in Ward 8. That's what we doing, is a movement. And we are that movement. And everywhere in the country, we got to develop movements from the grassroots on up. Whatever we doing in the politics arena, the arena of politics, we got to be the warriors in there. We can't deal with that mentality of them Europeans or the Romans or the Greeks or the Jews. We got to come from African spirituality, even though we might practice Islam, Christianity, or whatever. But I better go, because this energy is getting ready to run out. Not our energy, but this technology. But the source, all we got to do is re-energize. And today, when you go out that door, you know what you got to do as a soldier of peace and love. You got to emanate that to everybody that you meet that's melanated. And people, we got to show an example of what we represent. Just don't stand there. Do something. Peace. Love you.